What if the technology meant to save humanity became its greatest threat? What if an alien invasion didn't come from the stars, but from within our own bodies? Today, we're diving into one of the darkest Ben 10 adventures ever filmed. A story where trust is shattered, friendships are tested, and Ben Tennyson faces an enemy that can control minds and consume the entire planet. This is Ben 10, Alien Swarm. But before we begin, if you're new to Plot in Minutes, welcome. We break down your favorite movies into engaging recaps you can enjoy during your lunch break. Hit that subscribe button and check out our previous videos for more epic stories. And if you've been with us before, thank you. Let's jump right into this alien nightmare. Our story begins in the shadows of Bellwood, where Kevin Levin walks into what appears to be a routine black market deal. He's meeting with a group of suspicious bikers at an abandoned warehouse, the kind of place where illegal alien tech changes hands and no questions are asked. The dealers open their cases, revealing something unusual: tubes filled with thousands of tiny metallic chips. They claim it's alien technology, but here's the catch. Even they don't know what it does. The chips appear completely dormant, lifeless. Kevin, being the cautious type, isn't about to buy blind. He calls in backup, Gwen Tennyson, his girlfriend and a skilled magic user. But there's something strange happening. Ben notices the Omnitrix acting up, showing interference he's never seen before. These chips, whatever they are messing with the most powerful device in the universe. Then comes the twist. One of the buyers, a woman in a helmet, casually drops a bombshell. She asks how they know so much about plumber business, the secret intergalactic peacekeeping organization. The room goes silent. Who is this person? She removes her helmet, revealing herself as Elena Validis, a name that sends shockwaves through Ben's memory. Elena is a childhood friend of both Ben and Gwen, someone who disappeared years ago. More importantly, she's a plumber's kid, just like them. But according to Ben's grandfather Max, Elena and her father Victor left the organization because they moved away. Elena's face tells a different story. That's not what happened at all. Before Ben can process this reunion, Elena drops another revelation. She didn't come here to buy alien tech. She came here to find Ben. Her father, Victor Validis, has vanished without a trace, and she needs their help to find him. But here's where things spiral out of control. High up in the rafters, a mysterious figure watches the entire exchange. Suddenly, the dormant chips spring to life. They shatter their containment tubes and swarm out like a plague of mechanical locusts. The warehouse erupts into chaos as these alien insects attack everyone inside, crawling over surfaces and flying through the air with terrifying intelligence. Ben tries to transform using the Omnitrix, but something's wrong. The interference from the chips has completely disabled his ability to change. He's stuck as a regular human while alien technology attacks from all sides. The black market dealers don't wait around. They jump on their motorcycles and tear out of the warehouse, leaving Ben, Gwen, Kevin, and Elena to fend for themselves. Kevin and Gwen fight back with their powers, but the chips are relentless, swarming in coordinated patterns that suggest intelligence, maybe even a hive mind. Ben spots the mysterious figure in the rafters and realizes something crucial. Someone is controlling these chips remotely. This isn't random chaos. It's an orchestrated attack. Finally getting the Omnitrix to respond, Ben selects Spider Monkey, an agile alien perfect for this situation. But the interference causes a glitch. Instead of Spider Monkey, he transforms into Big Chill, a moth-like alien with ice powers. Sometimes the wrong alien is exactly what you need. Big Chill unleashes his freezing breath, trapping hundreds of chips in a block of ice. With one powerful strike, he shatters the ice into millions of fragments, destroying a massive portion of the swarm in seconds. With the immediate threat contained, Ben goes after the puppet master. He flies toward the mysterious figure, ready to freeze him solid. But this enemy is prepared. He leaps from the rafters with inhuman agility and, as a distraction, sends a cloud of chips directly at Gwen. And just like that, the mysterious figure escapes into the night. But here's what makes Kevin and Gwen even more suspicious. Elena disappears in the confusion too. Same time, same moment. To them, it's too convenient. Elena must be working with the enemy. This was all a trap to lure them out. There's more to this story. Despite the team's doubts, Ben decides he needs answers. And those answers start with his grandfather. The trio heads to Plumber Headquarters, a high-tech facility hidden beneath Bellwood Motors. While they wait for Grandpa Max to arrive, they examine the chips they managed to collect from the warehouse. What they discover is disturbing. These aren't just machines, they're not purely biological either. The chips are a perfect hybrid, part technology, part living organism. Gwen tries to read their energy signature using her magic, but the chips don't register like normal life forms. There's something completely new, something that shouldn't exist. Kevin attempts to track their origin through the Plumber database, but before he can get far, Ben brings up what's really on his mind. Elena's father, Victor Validis. This triggers an argument. Grandpa Max finally arrives. Max Tennyson is the leader of the Plumbers and Ben's mentor. He's seen it all. Alien invasions, cosmic threats, interdimensional nightmares. But when he sees the chips they're analyzing, something flashes across his face. Recognition. Fear. Before Ben can ask about Victor, alarms blare throughout the facility. There's an intruder inside headquarters, inside Max's personal quarters. They rush to Max's room and find exactly who you'd expect, Elena Validis. Max's reaction is immediate and harsh. He demands she leave. No explanations, no second chances. Just get out. But Ben steps between them, taking Elena's side. He tells Max about Victor's disappearance, arguing that Victor must have been taken by whoever controls the chips. Max isn't having it. He pulls up Victor's file on the computer, and the truth comes spilling out. Victor Validis wasn't just a plumber who left voluntarily. He was dishonorably discharged, caught red-handed stealing alien technology, specifically these exact same chips from a secure vault. Victor was branded a traitor and banished from the organization forever. But Ben sees something everyone else is missing. Elena came to them for help. She exposed herself, knowing she'd be walking into hostile territory. Max refuses to authorize a mission to help Elena. So Ben makes a decision. He takes Max's motorcycle and rides off alone to find Elena, determined to help her, whether the plumbers approve or not. While Ben chases one lead, we cut to Victor Validis himself, walking through a dark alley in some unnamed city. Two criminals spot him and move in for an easy mugging. Thousands of chips pour out from his body like a tidal wave, swarming over the criminals. The chips invade their bodies through their eyes, ears, mouths, anywhere they can find entry. Within seconds, the criminals aren't criminals anymore. They're zombies. Ben catches up with Elena, and together they head to the location where she originally found the chips, Victor's old laboratory. The building has been abandoned, cleared out. But as they investigate, they find crucial clues, shipping receipts from a company called Ship It, research notes indicating Victor was studying and upgrading the chips, and most disturbing of all, a photo suggesting Elena is connected to whoever is controlling this nightmare. Before they can process this information, they're ambushed. A group of people emerges from the shadows. They have the same eerie glow. Chips are crawling around inside their eye sockets. These people are infected, controlled. Ben activates the Omnitrix, but the interference is still there. The Omnitrix won't let him select an alien. They bolt for the fire exit, but the infected are everywhere, cutting off their escape routes. Ben realizes they're trapped. In desperation, he does something dangerous. He overloads the Omnitrix, creating a massive energy shockwave that blasts the infected backward, giving them just enough time to reach their motorcycles. They race away from the building, and together they escape with seconds to spare. As they catch their breath, Ben makes a decision. We need to go to Ship It. Whatever Victor sent, that's where we'll find answers. Meanwhile, back at Plumber headquarters, Kevin and Gwen are having second thoughts. They hack into Victor Validis' classified files and discover something that changes everything. There's a video, an interrogation recording. Max doesn't believe him. He calls Victor a traitor and ends the interrogation. But watching it now, years later, Kevin and Gwen see something Max couldn't see back then. Victor was telling the truth. His fear was real. Gwen looks at Kevin. Ben was right. We need to help Elena. They trace the chip's energy signature and discover a massive concentration at Ship It's central distribution center. They rush to the facility, hoping to stop whatever's happening. But they're too late. Kevin and Gwen are spotted by one of the employees, a Cap Diamant, or head employee. But his eyes glow with that telltale light. He's infected. With a simple gesture, he commands the chips. Thousands of them swarm together, forming 3 massive spheres that begin rolling after Kevin and Gwen like something out of an Indiana Jones nightmare. Kevin jumps into his beloved Dodge Challenger, Gwen barely getting in before he floors it. The car tears out of the parking lot with the chip spheres in hot pursuit. These things are fast, impossibly fast, and they're gaining. Kevin tries everything, evasive maneuvers, sharp turns, but nothing works. The spheres just reform and keep coming. The chase reaches its peak when one sphere climbs onto a viaduct and launches itself down at them like a meteor. Kevin's car flips, crumples, and crashes in a spectacular wreck. But just when it seems like they're finished, a familiar roar echoes across the construction site. Ben has arrived. He leaps off his motorcycle mid-jump, transforming into Humongosaur, a massive dinosaur-like alien with incredible strength. He crashes down onto the largest sphere and obliterates it with a single punch. The chips regroup, forming laser-firing rings that attack from all directions. But Humongosaur's armored hide can take the punishment. He smashes through them, scattering chips everywhere. The chips make one last desperate attempt, forming into a giant, robotic anaconda that wraps around buildings and tries to crush Humongosaur. Ben spots Kevin's wrecked car nearby and, in a moment of improvisation, picks it up and uses it as a baseball bat to obliterate the chip snake. Kevin watches in horror. Ben, back in human form, shrugs apologetically. Sorry, Kevin. The team regroups at Plumber headquarters, bringing Elena with them. Max is monitoring news feeds from around the world, and the reports are catastrophic. Max analyzes a new chip sample and confirms what they already suspected. These aren't independent organisms. They're peripherals, extensions of a central intelligence. There's a queen controlling everything. Ben has an epiphany. If we destroy the queen, the whole hive collapses. No queen, no new chips. The colony dies. It's a solid plan. The team gathers around the computer, searching for any anomaly in the chip distribution patterns. Hours pass. None of them noticed that when Max was handling the chips earlier, one escaped. It's been hiding, waiting. And now it crawls up Max's arm and burrows into his skin. Max Tennyson, leader of the plumbers, Ben's grandfather, the man who trained them all, is now infected. He attacks without warning, possessed by the hive's will. He tries to throw a computer monitor at Ben's head. Kevin tackles Max and knocks him out with a well-placed hit. But in the confusion, Max activates the smoke machines. The room fills with thick clouds that block everyone's vision. When the smoke clears, Max is gone. The team is devastated, but Ben forces himself to focus. They still have a mission. They have to find the Queen. Back at the computer, Gwen studies the infection map and notices something strange. The chips are concentrated in major cities: New York, Los Angeles, Tokyo, London. That makes sense for maximum spread. But there's an anomaly. A tiny rural town in Missouri called Barren Rock has one of the highest concentrations of chips anywhere on the planet. Why would a small town be such a hotspot? Kevin does some research. SHIP. Its central headquarters is in Barren Rock. Ben nods slowly. That's where the Queen is. The team drives through the night, arriving at SHIP at headquarters in Barren Rock as dawn breaks. The facility is massive, a sprawling complex of warehouses and assembly lines, and it's crawling with infected workers, all moving with synchronized precision. They infiltrate the building, staying low and avoiding detection. Inside, they witness something horrifying: an assembly line producing millions of chips. And at the center of it all, connected to the machinery by countless organic cables, is Victor Validis. But this isn't the Victor Elena remembers. His body has been transformed, warped into a grotesque living factory. Chips are being born from his flesh, pouring out in an endless stream. Elena sees her father and nearly breaks down. Kevin immediately accuses her of knowing about this all along, of being part of the plan. But Elena is in shock. She had no idea her father had become this. Ben steps between them again. Ben considers using Alien X, the most powerful transformation in the Omnitrix, a celestial being with reality warping abilities. But Gwen stops him. Before they can decide, an infected worker spots them and sounds the alarm. Chips swarm from every direction. Ben activates the Omnitrix. He selects an alien, knowing it might be his last chance to save everyone, but the interference is still there. Instead of transforming into a battle-ready alien, Ben shrinks. Then, the transformation completes. He's become Nanomech, a microscopic hybrid alien born from the Omnitrix, scanning the chips throughout the movie. While Kevin, Gwen, and Elena fight off the infected outside, Nanomech flies into Victor's nose and navigates his bloodstream. He can hear her now, the Queen's voice, echoing through Victor's body. Nanomech finds her in Victor's brain, a massive, pulsating organism that's completely taken over the neural pathways. She's not just controlling Victor, she's become part of him. The Queen tries to convert Nanomech, sending chips to assimilate him. But Ben fights back, using his tiny size and alien abilities to outmaneuver her. Outside, the infected overwhelm the team. Elena is pinned down. Kevin and Gwen are being swarmed. Max, still infected, moves in for the kill. Inside Victor's mind, Nanomech realizes he has one shot. He gathers all his energy and releases a massive electrical burst directly into the Queen's core. The Queen screams, a sound that echoes across every infected person on Earth, and disintegrates. Instantly, every chip on the planet self-destructs. Victor's body shudders and stops producing chips. Nanomech flies out of Victor's nose, grows back to normal size, and transforms back into Ben, exhausted but victorious. In the aftermath, Max personally apologizes to Victor. He admits he let anger and betrayal cloud his judgment. Victor was trying to save the world, and Max couldn't see it. Victor and Elena are officially reinstated as plumbers, welcomed back into the organization as heroes. The family is whole again. And that's Ben 10, Alien Swarm, a story about invasion, trust, and the power of believing in people, even when the world tells you not to. What did you think of this movie? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this recap, smash that like button and subscribe to Plot in Minutes for more movie breakdowns. Check out our playlist of sci-fi adventures. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next recap.